Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Outlook Video, your nationally recognized award-winning LGBTQ TV news magazine. I'm Roberta Gonzalez-Gray. Well, thank you all for joining us today here on Outlook Video. We have the pleasure of having with us today Nicole Adler, a Peninsula Bay Area local who also wears many, many hats. We had the pleasure of meeting at the San Mateo Pride festivities, which happened just a month or so ago. And it was really very nice to meet you then, Nicole, and then find out so much more about you. So our viewers are going to be anxious to hear all about you and your stories that you have to tell. Let's start off by saying that you wear many, many hats. Yes, you do. Beginning in 2014, you were appointed by the governor of California to become a member of the State Council on Developmental Disabilities. How did that come about?
So I have a mother that filed an application to be in the Bay Area Regional Advisory Committee because it was a good fit for me in 2014.
Terrific, terrific. That's fantastic. And you still are to this day, is that correct?
Yeah, so in 2014, Governor Jerry Brown appointed me on the Bay Area Regional Center, and yes, I did. I first got an interview first.
Okay.
It was a big process to the government officials first and foremost. And then later on, a couple years later in 2018, I was appointed by Governor Newsom after Jerry Brown left the office, and he appointed me for the State Council on Developmental Disabilities for the first time, and then again for a second term in 2021, and then my last year is next year in 2024.
My goodness, that is fantastic. Well, that speaks well of you that you must have been doing some good stuff with the Disabilities Act. In fact, yesterday was a Awareness with Disabilities Day, and the act was the Disability Act was first implemented in 1990. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Correct me if I'm mistaken, but I believe it was first in 1990, and then moving forward, that is so fantastic because all of our diverse community needs support. Communities need support. That's what community is all about. But especially with those who are differently able, who can use all of these different resources that are now available and enhanced because of that act and because of this committee to which you belong. Thank you for being a part of that. That is fantastic. But this appointment was given to you before you finished your studies in communications at the College of San Mateo. That was in 2019. That alone shows you were already highlighting for these and preparing for these skills. Has this always been your career goal? And do you continue along this route?
So for me, honoring my skills was actually in high school. I was in a class called leadership, and I learned all the skills of volunteering and going to football games and helping buying tickets, being more in the community that way. So I learned so many skills through high school first to get to where I am today. But after high school, I was right after high school, so I actually got an interview with Vic Lee and from KTVU, a local newscaster,
Yes.
that helped start everything and wanted to know my story a little bit more. So it really was after high school, and then all through college as well. But my ultimate passion is a public speaker, an inspirational speaker. That's my ultimate passion. And but I always wanted to advocate for all minority groups, not just people with disability. But yes, I was on a platform for people with disabilities. And that's what I believe in.
The moment, but also that reminds me that you continue to advocate for the development of disabled, but also the LGBTQ community as well. Is there a connection there?
Yes, there's a connection there. It's called a minority group. The most vulnerable group. Yeah, it's pretty much human rights. Both communities, both disability communities and LGBTQ, they're both human rights in my book. And it's for peace and love. And that's what I'm passionate about the most. It's not just with disabilities and the LGBTQ community. I meet a lot of people that are vulnerable and who doesn't like violence in general, who are marginalized and they don't understand, like they do understand, but like they just want love and peace and they just don't really care about what's going on in our divided world. And we just want to be loved and accepted for who we are.
You betcha, and you're doing a good job of advocating on that respect. And it's often reminded to the public that the LGBTQ community is so diverse, and these acronyms alone show their diversity. Yet we often overlook the differently abled communities, and this is what you're putting together. Don't you think that's that this is part of your involvement in these communities?
It's called the intersectionality of people with disabilities and LGBTQ. There are people in the disability community that are openly gay already. And but there's a misconception for a specific population. I don't like labels, but I'm going to say them to you today. It's the Down syndrome community. For me, it's an autoimmune disease or an extra chromosome. That's how I put it in words. And we are like marginalized in that sense. They don't talk about relationships in general, romantic relationships. The question they always ask me that I do not like is, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And it's not okay to say that. In general, for any reason. So there's a lot of overlooking for that community specifically in the LGBTQ community. So we need to like it up and maybe watch my video.
Yes, exactly. You're quite right. That is something, and that's something that I think people will have that question. Do you have a boyfriend? I often get asked, "Do you have a husband?" You know, and I like to say, "No, I have a wife."
Yeah.
But even so, sometimes I'll just answer. Um, I'll just pass. No, thank you,
Yes.
because that's not part of my identity, not a part of who and what I am. And likewise for you, your identity isn't just this one small piece. It opens up widely for everybody. That's how it is for all of us. And thank you so much for projecting that. So, so you are a motivational speaker. For equality, disabilities, women, LGBTQ rights, and mental health awareness. Whew, girlfriend. That's a lot on your plate, young lady.
I have a lot going on in my life and in my
Sure.
path and in my journey in general. So it's my passion to stand up. So I have a lot of stuff going on in my life. I have a show coming on YouTube, the No No Show. That's one of the things that I'm like passionate about. But I just call it a passion. I don't call it work. I don't call it my career choice. Well, I do. I call it career choice sometimes, but it's my career that I chose. Because I was born with an extra chromosome, and science made me this way, and not anything else. So it's just what I'm what I'm doing with my life right now, and someone has to stand up without someone who does not have a voice, and someone who cannot speak up for themselves, especially in Ukraine, they can't speak up for themselves right now. So that's what I'm doing for not just for the U.S., but for the world in general, because they don't have the voice to really know what they are going through, because of war, and they have to be in survival mode right now for a while now.
Well, that's terrific, though, what you've said about having a voice for those who are voiceless in many ways, even though they have voices to speak. But sometimes, and they just aren't heard, or it takes a collaboration and leadership to show the voices for those who are unheard. And I thank you for that. Plus, you're an actress with a lovely, sweet short film called First. Now, do you call it First X or
Yes.
First Time? First X. Okay.
I want it to be soft, not stiff, not, puckered lips. Soft, not like a grandma kiss or anything. Soft.
Are you okay?
I don't know if I can do this.
So let's get to your film. Tell us about that.
So my film is based on my identity for who I am. It's just opening up the world and the globe to talk about people who are the most vulnerable population for the Down syndrome community, to see that someone can have a first kiss. I don't want to spoil it too much. I want people to watch it, but it's really profound, and it's really like uplifting, and it's romantic. It's an escapism for many reasons. It's not just a statement. It's really like rom-com, and yes, I act in it as well, but I'm also executive producer as well. I pay people to help make the film, and have my dream team help as well. I haven't been out much since the pandemic. Have you?
I've been outside, walk around the parks. I've been to some outdoor dining establishments. Is that what you mean?
Yes and no. I was wondering if you have been out on any other dates.
No, I'm a germaphobe. I don't touch other people.
Ever?
No.
Oh.
Is that a problem?
Yes.
Oh.
You did a very good job. You did a very good job of putting that together. And it's what's good about films and interviews such as this and books and artwork is that these things tell stories that we all have, and we all have a story that we can relate to in this particular film. I mean, it all makes us think back. Oh, I remember my first encounter that was similar to this, and sometimes with a little bit of a tear, and sometimes with a laugh, and mostly with a smile. But this is what's great about your film, and that the characters are being their true selves. They normalize the sexuality of someone with an extra chromosome, and to break down the society's perceptions of people who are differently able. And I think that is fantastic. That is really fantastic.
Yes, and there's also a second part of my film. So my film got into a film festival in Redwood City, here in Redwood City, my hometown. And it's called Brave Maker Film Festival. And I made amazing connections and friends and networking. My film got in there, and there's so many good movies there, not just mine. It's called Into the Spotlight, that they want to work with me too. But yeah, there's that festival was amazing. I did almost everything. I did almost every single movie there, but I did all the parties and connections, and had some dinner in downtown, and it was just amazing film festival. And I'm going to hopefully volunteer next year.
Your film was also had a very nice article on the let's see, July 14th edition of the Daily Journal, which is a local peninsula.
San Mateo
And
Daily
it had
Journal.
San Mateo paper, yes.
Yeah.
And it had a really nice article about that. And the local filmmaker explores queer dating with a disability in a new short film. That kind of puts it in a nutshell, but the movie itself really expounds on that. And it's really terrific to see. Really, really great. So, congratulations. What other projects and future projects do you have coming down the road?
So I'm doing a lot of public speaking and speeches and actually filming them on different platforms like YouTube, putting myself out there for like I'm doing emergencies for the LGBTQ community, especially the transgender right. So I have 2 amazing speeches coming out, hopefully this coming month in August. I also have a show called YouTube show called the No No Show that I'm producing as well, and I'm actually doing a tribute to Sinead O'Connor for that.
Excellent. And catch up with your latest developments. Well,
Yes.
Nicole, this is fantastic. Thank you for the courage to share your life stories, advocate for inclusion for all, and bring power to break down society's perceptions of LGBTQ people and people with disabilities, but also the courage and pride to be your true self. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us, for sharing that today on this video with Outlook Video, and we're sharing it with your films. We look forward to seeing more of you on YouTube. And all of those, our viewers, check out that film, First X. You're really going to enjoy that. That's a wonderful film. And you can remember your stories too. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Nicole. We appreciate it a great deal.
Thank you, Roberta.
Yes, I told myself, today is the day. I told myself, if you don't kiss somebody before you turn 30, you should just die.
I know how you feel.
We'd love to get mail from you. Email us at comments@outlookvideo.org.
To contact us by phone, call 408-293-3040, extension 205.
Visit our website at outlookvideo.org.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/outlookvideo.
And connect with us at facebook.com/outlookvideo.
This year, Silicon Valley Pride's theme is Live Out Proud. When we think about what Live Out Proud means, it means, you know what, you get to live the life that you would like to live, the life that you were born to live, the life that you have the right to live. And as we see the state of this country and we see the legislations that has been sweeping this nation for the past 2 years, and we see the tragedy that just happened in Southern California just a few days ago, living out proud is even more important. In the state of California, we have the privilege to live out proud. But when something like what happened in Southern California, a murder that took place over a rainbow flag, over somebody displaying their pride, it hits a little close to home. And when we think about the privilege, we take it a little bit for granted here in the Bay Area, because we have all these elected officials. We're raising the flag in front of City Hall of San Jose. And we think that we have the right to live out proud, but what we see is that the hate and the bigotry that was so prevalent back in the day is still here. It means that we cannot rest. It means our job is not done. It means we need to continue the fight. It means we need to be resilient now more than ever, that we speak out against hate. And not just during the month of June, and not just during Silicon Valley Pride Week, but 365 days a year. Because our community isn't just vibrant in the months of June and August. Our community lives out proud every single day. And every single day, that's a radical act of defiance to those that would see us persecuted, to those that would see our rights stripped away, to those that would have us go back in time. We're in the year 2023, and we are still fighting this fight.
The community we see today was built on the backs of countless individuals who fought hard for equal rights and protections. Is that win too much? No. Okay. Today, their rights achieved after many years of struggles continue to be under attack by dangerous legislation and rhetoric across our country. You already heard about the murder of Laura Carlton that occurred about 4 days ago in Southern California. She was displaying a pride flag to show her support for the LGBT community, and someone gunned her down because they objected to that. We cannot allow that. Can you imagine that is happening in the state of California, where we think we are so accepting of all that is happening around us, but it happened in Southern California. We cannot let that happen. And I won't go into some of the things that are happening at some of our school boards, also in Southern California, but also right up in the peninsula at Contra Costa School Board. This is why we must continue to be diligent in continuing to fight, and Nicole kind of put out the marching orders to protect our members of the LGBTQ plus community. We must ensure that everyone, no matter who they are or whom they love, has an equal place in our society.
So I love that we get to do this flag raising twice a year. Isn't that great? And to Nicole's point, really, we have to affirm our values and celebrate the value of living out proud every single day, based on the reality that when we don't loudly and proudly and consistently affirm our core values, we can see backsliding, we can see regression. We have to preserve our progress and fight to continue to expand that circle of inclusion. In fact, in a matter of days, I'm hoping that Councilor Torres, Davis Foley, and I will be unveiling some positive legislation relating to the future of what is fast become the South Bay's premier LGBTQ plus district, community district on Post Street, which we're very, very proud of, and we want to nurture and see grow. We're so proud to be a destination, a meeting place, a safe space for our LGBTQ plus community. As a city, we need to be doing everything we can to support the effort to make Post Street more exciting, more vibrant, and more safe. I'm not going to share too much more today, but I want to just emphasize that the LGBTQ plus community has allies. You have your entire city council here today. You have leadership from the city. You have your police chief here. You have community leaders from across San Jose here in support. You'll see many more at the parade. And of course, we know in some cities that level of support just isn't there, which is why San Jose has to continue to be a beacon for inclusivity, for representation. In some cities, flying the rainbow flag is against city ordinance, believe it or not. In some cities, painting a rainbow crosswalk is too controversial to implement. In some cities, embracing LGBTQ plus employees simply just doesn't seem to happen. But at San Jose City Hall, we not only light our tower in support, if you all saw that in the last couple evenings, we not only raise our flags to show support, but on Sunday we will all be out marching with pride in support of the community. And once again, I want to...
Only in San Jose do we celebrate twice, but we gotta love that. Very important. Just like Nicole said and mentioned, we cannot just celebrate in June, and we cannot just celebrate in August. We gotta make sure that we are loud and proud 365 days. We have reached an era where once again, our trans community is under attack. Our gay community is under attack. Our gender not conforming community is under attack. From school boards to city councils to the federal level, our community continues to be attacked. And shame on those folks who do not embrace us Shame on them for not embracing us. And that is why when we are parading down East Santa Clara Street, when we're dancing at Splash, when we're enjoying brunch with beautiful drag queens, we let people know that we are loud and we are proud. And I know our community has beautiful drag queens because we've seen them, but our community also has teachers, police officers, firefighters, moms, dads, your next door neighbor. We are here. So remember that we all have to make sure that we continue to create allies and that our allies are fighting for us. So
raising these flags today represents many things. It showcases how we as a city are proud of and welcome those in the LGBTQ plus community. We are demonstrating how San Jose and those of us in elected office will continue. We are making a commitment, a promise, that we will continue to make this city a safe space and that we want to strengthen our relationship and be inclusive of everyone, including the LGBTQ plus community, of course. Flag raisings are important in that respect to help us acknowledge that there is still work to be done to prevent hate crimes and discrimination against the LGBTQ plus community. To continue being a progressive city, we must be forward-thinking with solutions, policies, and hiring practices to protect those in the LGBTQ plus community and to lift up LGBTQ plus voices.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave, of the brave.